card. Okay, so without further ado, I've got lots of things, not entirely sure what it's going to end up like, but I've got lots of elements. So, shock, shock, horror, I am actually working in centimetres today. So I've got a piece of terracotta card. You can use any colour you want. This is just some old card I've got kicking around. So you want to have it 15 centimetres by 25. You're going to stick it in at the 50. No, we'll stick it in first at the 25 centimetre side. You're going to put it in at 5 centimetres. You are then going to score down. If you've got score and you've got the 2-inch mark, you're going to score that just to the 2-inch mark. Okay, so only come down as far as the 2-inch mark, then move it along to the 10 centimetre. So if I said inches, I meant centimetres. So that was putting it in at 5 centimetres, scoring down to 5 centimetres. Now put it in at 10 centimetres and score all the way to the bottom. Then put it in at 15 centimetres. And again, you're going to score all the way down. Then you're going to put it in at 20 centimetres. So get it on 20 centimetres. This time, make sure your score blade is at the bottom and you are going to score up, which will be the 4-inch mark if you've not got centimetres. However, if you've got centimetres, you're just going to score up the 5 centimetres to do that. Okay. Then you're going to turn it back on its 15 centimetre and you are going to place it in at 10 centimetres. Then you are going to place your blade, don't place it from the top, where that centimetre line finishes, and you've got your score line on your right hand side. Lined your blade, don't forget you've got that little notch on your blade there. You're going to line that up with that score line and you're going to cut from that score line through the next score line and end at the third one. So that's from the first score line through the second, end at the 5th score line. Take up your blade, move it back to the 5 centimetre mark. See where your first score line is now on your left hand side, and you're going to place it. Don't forget, use your indentation on your blade to line up with that score line. Then you're going to score it from that first score line that's on your left down through till you get down through the second score line. I can barely see it, and then stop at the third score line. So you will end up with it looking like that. Okay. There we go. And if you've been listening to me, I'll have to take the cardigan off. I am overeating drastically. Right, okay. So what we're going to do now is, with your big chunk facing, your big square facing your right, you are going to take this first score line here, and that is going to become a mountain. The second one will be a valley, and then I think it's going to be a mountain again. Okay, then you're going to do your, see, I'm just teasing it. We're not going to make it too score too fast. We're taking our time with it and putting it into position. So your score line here, that's going to go into a valley, And then this score line, we're going to put this into a mountain. So second one in, we're putting into a mountain, third one into a valley, and we're just going to push that and ease that along. There we go, just do it slowly. So now I'm going to fully bend that into that position and it will go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to use my bone folder and I'm going to score down now to that on that first one, then on your second one down there, then on your third one down there. Just taking that out a little bit. Okay, let's see if I can pull it back in. Just try and make sure you've got it straight. I didn't quite get that straight, but I'm doing it on the other side. And we'll do that. Should be all right. Okay. So then have it facing you so it goes like that. And I'm going to flatten again because now we're going to decorate. So my first layer, and I've chosen to do this in the lemon lolly, is 9.8, I think it is. Let me just see this way. No, 7, sorry. 9.7. So you want to make yourself 9.7 square, and you want 2 of those. So they're going to fit there and there. So I'm just going to bring in my DSP, and this is going to be 9.4 by 9.4, and you want 2 of those. So I'm just going to stick those down to start with. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, bring in that, and we'll do those first. So this was the Simply Splendid. Don't know whether you can remember it, but it doesn't matter. Anything you've got, and it doesn't have to be foil. I'm just choosing to use foil, but it doesn't have to be foil. It can be anything that you've got in your supply. If you don't want to do mats and layers like I'm doing, you can just do the DSP and what I just told you the yellow was, which was 9.7 by 9.7. So you can just do that. So I'm going to put these 2 on first. So okay. There we go. So just aiming for an equal increment all the way round. There we go. Put that on there. Then I think we'll do our little ones. We'll get it all ready and then we can go 1, 1, 1 with it. Okay, so your next card layers, and you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think there's 7 of these, and this is 4 point, let's check again, I'm better checking on here. This is why I don't work in centimeters and like inches. This is 4.7, yeah, 4.7 by 4.7, yeah, they are squares again. And then your DSP is 4.4 by 4.4, yeah, they are definitely squares. And I think we need 7 of those. I think that's what I've got. We'll find out when I've done them all and put them all on to make sure I was right in what I'm saying. They could even be 8, I'm not sure. I've cut them all out, I think, hopefully. I think there's 7 actually. I think there's 7 now thinking about it. So I'm just going to line those all up. And now I've got one hiding under there, look. So with it being a square, this being, I would say, slightly directional paper, I can just bung them all on, and then choose which way, because the squares I want them up, so I've not got to be too worried about doing it now. I can choose when I am doing it. Now if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've bought a circuit joy extra, and now I'm cutting and scoring all with that. I'm just finding it so much easier. And now I'm building up templates in the design space that I can just go to. So I'd already done this template ready, so all I did was do my layers and get it to cut it out. And then I was horrified because I thought, what size is that? What is it? What have I done? Oh no, the design space has mucked up the side. Then I realised I'd done it in centimetres and not inches. Because this card, why I've done it in centimetres, oh, sorry about that. Hope that doesn't keep going off. I was waiting for the doctor to phone me this morning, so I had to switch my sound on and I forgot to switch it off. And I don't know whether I'll be able to do it while you're on camera, so I don't want to muck about, so I'm going to apologise now if you keep hearing those silly noises. I can't be doing with them. That's why I've my sound off, and then when people try to ring me, don't know they're ringing. Whoops. That's why I switched on for the doctor today. Right, there we go. So that's it. So far there is 7, which I said, didn't I? So I'm going to bring this back in, and then we'll start doing this. Now I don't know, just gonna perhaps I will do, I'll perhaps have this one here. So I've got the choice now, so I'm deciding I'm going to have this one with more of the foliage coming up. So we're gonna put this on here, so flatten that, get equal increments all the way round. Okay, and then I'll go for sticking my little ones. I want it that way up, I think, so I'll stick that up there. So you've got several choices here when you do this. So as I say, you could not do the 2 layers like me. You could just take whatever I said. Did I give you? I'm just going to make sure I gave you the yes, I'm sure I did 4.4 for the DSP. So I'm just deciding as I go along which way I want my flowers to face. So you could do different colours here. You haven't got to stick with all the same. You could alternate the colours. Okay. So it's all your choice. So I like the 2 layers. So I'm having 2 layers even though I'm sticking it through the post, because that's it. Then that way. And that one, and then I've got that flower, and that flower, only I should have had it on the top one, I think. Never mind, you won't know. Right, and we'll have that way. So I'm choosing to make that little flower, I'm focusing on that little tiny one there, having it all the same way. And they're roughly about the same position, aren't they? Interesting. Right, so now we should have 2 more, sorry, not 1 more. So we'll put this down here. Getting really autumnal now. Leaves are blowing off the trees. There we go. And then we've got 1 more for up here. That way. that's it. And then we've got the last one to go here. Now I cut out a load of elements and then I start to pull from them. So I'd cut out lots of teapots with scraps. That's what I sometimes do, just cut out a load of things with the scraps. Okay, so that will be like that when it's displayed. So now for decorating. So I decided I wanted a cup today. So I'm going to get a cup and I'm going to get some dimensionals. And we're just going to put one in the centre. Okay, so I'm only going to put it in the centre. I'm going to bring the angle up a bit so that it will fit like that. So I'm going to stick that fairly at the bottom, about there I think, and I'm just going to put a dab of glue on the angle, keep the angle down. I'm just going to hold that a minute with it being it's actually a bit wonky. Okay, get back. There we go. Now I decided, as I say, I have elements kicking about, and so I saw this and thought, yes, why don't I play with blends today? Because I've not played with blends for such a long time, so I'm going to play with blends. So I'm going to colour in the light lemon lolly, and I'm going to use the nice brush and bring it in. I'm going to have that because the lemon lolly was my layer coloured, so I'm bringing in this one. Yep. Playing with that. I think this is a lovely big flower. It's from the stamp set I got free in a celebration. Little Ladybug, maybe it's called. And they had all the ladybirds in it. Okay. So cute. I thought it was so cute. And it had dies that you could also earn to get free. So I got it all free. I think it's lovely. Now I wanted to, in fact, I don't know. Oh, I'm going to try it. I'm just going to go over where your accents are. So I'm going to just go over the accent. I'll bring that over there. There. I'm just going to go. I'll do that. I'll do that. There and there. And I think I'll leave it at that. Just going to go back in just a little bit. do to that. And then I haven't got a blending brush. I haven't got a blender the same colour as the card base. However, I have got a Stampin' Right marker. So I'm going to actually go in and have this a very dark centre like that. So that was the terracotta, as I said, the other one was. Now I've got, oh dear, hope this is not dried out. That looks as though it was off. So this is Granny Apple Green. Keone blends I've got in my green, I think, a Granny Apple Green and what's the other one? I think it's another old colour. Call Me Clover, something like that it was called. That doesn't seem to be, oh, that's better. That's gone on now. Right, I'm surprised that hasn't really dried out. So I'm gonna go in with, it's very deep, isn't it? I'm gonna go in just like that. I think I'm not going to do any more to that apart from just blend it back in. Oh, sorry. It's down there. There we go. That's that. Right, so I wanted to put this down on in my cup. So yeah, it will fit down there. So I'm only going to put I-dimensional on the back of the flower bit. So let's move out to wait. So I'm going to tuck that down. I'm going to poke it like that. And I've got some bits kicking about, some foliage, and I thought, well, I might just put some of these. So these are from Everything is Rosy, and this is in I'm gonna just have that poking out a bit. Everything is Rosy in Soft Sea Foam. I'll get there in the finish. So, onto this one. I think I'll kind of poke that there. Now I was planning on having a third one, but I've realised I've took that in there. So what I'm going to do, I only want a tiny bit really showing, so I'm going to cut that off and see first if I can tuck it where I want it before I stick some glue on. So I wanted that to come out there. Now because it's going to bend over there, that's okay going over the top there. So I can do that. So put those little bits on. And I'll just have that go there. That's it. So that'll be like that, liking that. Now I did wonder if I wanted to put a bow or something, so I'm going to have a look. I've got Saucy Foam, really very pretty ribbon. So I'm going to see if I want a bow on the teacup. So I sometimes challenge myself because I've got that many ribbons. But I want to, come on, do it again. It's because I'm trying to make sure that there at the front, come on. That's it. I'll get that organised a bit before I start. pull that in a bit, pull that in a bit. There. Now I don't want it to be too bulky, so don't know whether I want it or not. I'm not convinced for that bit, so we'll leave that for a little minute. I have also got some little bits of white. These are out of Sweet Tidings, so I think I'm going to stick a little bit of those coming out as well. I'll stick it underneath there. Stick that coming out over there. Right. I don't know whether I want to stick anything else in. Not decided. No, not on that there. Right. So I've got that. Just having a look what else foliage wise I've got. As I say, got lots of little elements that I cut a lot out of. I might actually stick some white in there, I think, as well. Stick it at the bottom. There we go. Remember, I can go slightly higher. That's not an issue. Now, I've seen, oh, that's got something on. Another one. These are from the Boho Indigo suite that was. Stick that in there like that. Yeah, like that. Right, so I'm going to leave that. So I want this other area now. So this is going to have my happy birthday on. Oh, actually, I could, now I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking that I might go for the peaceful, might go for that actually, and the only thing I didn't pull in is some white. That's the white. So I'm going to put that out in white. And I didn't bring any of my stamp sets out for sentiments. So I'll just put a rough bit there. Bit there, and then oops, cut that bit off. We'll stick this through. I'll just pop that out of the way. I'll stick this through the die cutting machine, and then that's it. And I will think about my go-to sentiments, because I have definitely got go-to sentiments, so that's nice and thick coming off. And I think I'm going to try and stick it like that. So let's have a look. I'm going to see now whether it's just for a beautiful birthday. Perfect. Yeah, wonderful. So we'll do wishes for our beautiful birthday. Now, what do I do? Do I... oh, Granny Apple Green, because I have got a little bit of the Granny Apple Green. So I think I will go Granny Apple Green. So let's just move those elements out of the way. So wishes for a beautiful birthday. That's about right. There we go, lovely. Pop that out of the way. And then because I'm already made it so that it's impossible to go flat, that means I can stick more dimension on it. So I'm going to stick 4 corners, I think. There we go, that'll do. And then let's bring this back in. Put that down a minute. I think that's about right. There we go. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Now I almost feel as though I want to. Oh, that's where my bow could sit. Just up there. I think I will go for that now. So I'm just going to put that about there and I can sort that out in a minute. Now, I wasn't going to put a big glue dot on, but actually I think I am. I was going to put a mini one on, but I think I'm going to go for a big one. And then I'm going to wrap it, hopefully, over there. Easier said than done. I'm getting all stuck up. Get off, get off. Right, I'm going to put that right up there. Stick that underneath. There we go. And then I can now see that can come off about there. I think I'll pull that about there and snip. I didn't have it long enough. Go back in. That's it. Yes. Bit too big that one was really, but right, I'm going to play now because that sticky there is going to hook me. So what do? You get your embossing buddy and de-stick it. Off all the excesses. Wishes for a beautiful birthday. Right, let's get rid of that out of the way. There we go. And now let's look what we've got. Okay, so wishes for a beautiful birthday. Now, as I say, I'm being very frugal on the back. That's how it will stand, so you'll see that. Now, let's see if I want to pull in anything else or not. No, I think I'll leave those just as they are, I think, and I'll just look at what I've got here now. So I could go it's a pity I haven't got a blend in that, although the jury's out for that a minute. Let's have a look what else I've got. See, ooh, I have coloured something here with some blends by the looks of things, and they're not a bad colour. So it's not want not. I can have one on there. I think I'll go for having one on here, and I'm going to put it right in the middle of that flower there. That's it. And in fact, that's made me want to, I know you shouldn't have 4, that's made me want to put it in the middle of that flower as well, up there. I'm still not, I think I want something here. Right, I'm going for it. Right, in the want to, no it's not, in the Peaceful Season dies, there is a tiny die that's like this. In fact, I'll have it on there. And the On the Ocean just happens to have a very small happy birthday that just fits in that. So we'll move that out of the way, bring that in. Those out of the way, bring in On the Ocean. It's upside down. In fact, I would have been able to have found it much quicker than that, but my grandchildren love stamping, and the 2 and 4 year old constantly just get stamps out by the bulk to stamp, and so I've given up. I'm just sticking them anywhere on the shelf. So that one was even upside down. Don't think personally I did put it upside down, but who knows, it could have been my grandkids, so, but doesn't matter, I found it. Okay, so this just nicely, you can get my head in the right place, go there, beautiful. Okay, so I am gonna pick it up, that is, I'm gonna just gently round it because it's going to go around the cup. So I'm going to stick one in the middle, and I'm going to put that at an angle over there like that. Okay, that, never mind, that's just not in the right place, but because it's foil I don't fetch it off in case I get a nasty hole there. No, I think, yeah, I'm not going to risk it, so that will have to be there. But I do like that. Yes, that's what I wanted on there. So I've got those on there. I wonder if I can find, I wonder what I did it with. That's the trouble now, because unless what oranges have I got? Oh. I wonder if I did it in Dark Pumpkin Pie. Let's have a look. See if that, no, it's not pumpkin pie. So did I put a ready colour on it? So did I mix a ready colour on it? Yes, I did. I mixed a ready colour on it, so I'm just going to do some more. Let those dry a bit. And they're probably faded with and they dried a bit. So we'll risk it anyway. I'm going to put one there. And one down in this corner. Over there. And I'm going to put one. I'm definitely on that flower. Okay, so there. Now let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Got odd numbers. We're all right. So you'll see it on the front of the video, which will be better to see the view properly. So I hope you like that. Thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Please share my videos. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.